So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the show. It's showtime. That's right. This is showtime. You know what me and Sweet Kid Kino bring you is showtime. We're gonna bring you showtime. And today, we have something prepared for you guys that's gonna knock your socks off and blow your hair back. Unbelievable, but true, ladies and gentlemen. You know that what we dare to tell you, they won't dare to tell you because it's not to their convenience to let you know what's happening out there. But since I don't have no interest in selling you no watches or buying any of your watches, I can tell you everything. That's right. And I will tell you everything, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, tomorrow is a big show here in Miami, Florida. So if you are in the Miami, Florida area, South Miami, Florida, there's a real big watch show in downtown Miami. You know, just to let you know, another, something that they won't tell you, but we will, because tomorrow, among themselves, they're gonna hype up artificially. They're gonna hype up prices. But I'm like a thorn. I'm like a thorn. I'm like a thorn and I'm going to tell you what's happening because it's my duty to tell you what's happening out there. All right, so you know that tomorrow there'll be a show in downtown Monday and Tuesday. You know, Monday and Tuesday they're going to get together to, flim flam and fleece you guys out there, with these artificial high prices. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go to another topic that you guys should know about. I tell you, things are so bad out there that now these watch, movie stars are not selling normal watches in their channels because they don't have no more content to fool you with. There's no more content to fool you that watches are selling, watch this, watch that. I saw $100,000 FP Jones. I saw the $700,000 Richard Mille. You understand me? I saw the $300,000 AP. Papi, eso no existe. That doesn't exist no more. That's over, papa. It's over. So we got this gentleman that now he's become like a talk show host, like Johnny Carson now, He's unbelievable, he's even wearing sports jackets and everything. He's changing, he's changing. And I'm talking about no other than Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes has lately been promoting watches to try, throw something against the wall to see if it sticks. These people are unbelievable. These people have a brilliant mind. They try to throw something against the wall, piece of shit, to see if it sticks. I didn't say a bad word. I don't think shit is a bad word, right? Gotta be careful. I don't want to offend nobody. This is a very correct channel. But he first was talking about what his other colleague, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes was talking to the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo, and they were having it out because both of them had that watch, Purnell, I don't know, that watch, it's a $500,000 watch, it's like 10 cents to the dollar, it's, something to that, right? They were promoting that watch. And then Deputy Boxing Black Eyes has lately been promoting a watch that he made a lot of fun of. And we're talking about the Hublot, and he's talking to the new CEO of the company and new master, maker, watchers, movements and all that good stuff. And he's now also, pushing Hublot watches because this is how it is. No hay más dinero para la calle, papi. There's no more money, There's no more money. So now he's become now like a promoter, promoter of watches. You tell them, Damon, explain to them, you're a smart man. So now he's pushing, he's pushing Purnell. I don't even know what the name of the watch is. He's like, don't pay more than 5 cents to the dollar on that watch. 5 cents. And then now they're talking about Hublot. I have always said, and I'll keep on saying it forever, Hublot makes unbelievable watches, They got their movements there. And there's something similar to the Richard Mille watches. But, a Richard Mille watch will cost you $200,000 and a Hublot will cost you 25, 30, $20,000. And when you lose, seven, $10,000. But when you lose on a Richard Mille, you're gonna lose 150, you're gonna lose 75, 80. So I have always said, you can get a Hublot and you get the same feeling. Right, perfect, right? We got that set. But now this Deputy Butthole Eyes with the black eyes, Deputy Butthole Eyes with the black eyes, So you guys understand who I'm talking about, Because maybe some of you don't know who Deputy Boxing Black Eyes is. He's Deputy Butthole Eyes. He is promoting now another watch, ladies and gentlemen. Listen and learn. Listen and learn. Uwerk, Uwerk watch. He's promoting a Uwerk watch. Uwerk, I don't know, one of those fancy names. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's too much for me, And ladies and gentlemen, this is, take notes. Like a gentleman is telling you, take notes. Be smart. This is the new watch that they are going to be attacking people that have deep, deep pockets. Because Richard Mille watches, as you know, Richard Mille watches are dead in water. And they know they have to find a new poster child. So they can keep on giving you the logo, So this watch, which is spelled, the watch I'm talking about is spelled URERK, okay? That's the name of the watch brand. And these guys, talking the French accent, hallelujah, and you hear Deputy Boxing Black Eyes saying, oh my God, but all the parts move in the watch. Oh, it's incredible. This has been the most beautiful watch you guys have produced. The wishy-washy stuff, to give you the logo, to give you the logo. And they're talking about that it has special parts, always in these very expensive watches, you have to have special materials in the watches, special materials. And this watch, the Uwerk, has special materials like the STP, STD, NTPT, the Richard Mille. Well, this one, Uwerk, has that. And it has a price tag that is all the way up, all the way up. It's unbelievable. So he is promoting this watch, and I'm here to tell you, so you don't get fleeced and flim-flam by all these hoodwinks and huckster. In particular, this gentleman, which I call Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, and he's there talking. He's been talking about, like I said, the Hublot. Exactly, Damon. He's been talking about Uwerk, and he's also talking about, the Purnell, when he had it out with the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo, they were having it out because, somebody's going to get flim-flam with one of these watches, because this is it. This is the way these guys give you these subliminal messages. And you guys catch it and you guys bug out and you go and you press the button in your Ferrari and you send them on your way. But, I'm not going to let it happen to you guys on my time. I'm going to let you know what's happening. So this is the new watch. They are attacking you people now. The Uwerk. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Uwerk. I don't know. Work. Something to that. But don't get fleeced and don't get flim-flam. All right, guys? Okay, so you know who is the person behind this. You know who the person is. Ladies and gentlemen, when you come to this channel, you're going to come out smarter. You're going to come out smarter. You're going to become brighter. What's happening in the watch industry. La situación está jodida, muchachos. No sean lambones. No sean lambones. You cannot continue being obedient slaves to these Michiganers. If you don't know what a Michigan is, you Google it. But you cannot continue being obedient Michiganers. So I'm telling you, Manishma, You know, manishma. You know what manishma is? If you don't know what manishma is, you Google it because I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. No te metas en esto, Kino. No te metas en esto. No te metas en esto. Déjame a mí. Yo sé lo que yo digo como chicken. Yo sé de los judíos. Yo conozco eso. Okay? Manishma. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to talk to you about something else that is happening out there, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's unbelievable. As you know, in the United States of America, you know, we are the biggest importers of anything, you know, whatever it is. Whatever it is. And all the watches that come into the United States, you know, let's say the whole world is 100%, right? Of watches that go all over the places. I think we import like around like a 31 or 35% of the watches of that 100%. Unbelievable, but true. And ladies and gentlemen, in America, America the beautiful, America the beautiful, the king of watches, the king of watches. These guys are unbelievable. These guys are unbelievable. They have increased the United States of America, not Europe, the United States of America, a 3% increase. I want you to know for the last 4 years, Rolex has been increasing 2 times and even sometimes 3 times in a year. 4%, 3%, 5%, 4%, 14% if it's gold, you know, platinum, 13, blah, 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 blah. But this has been going on for the last, I would say, last 4 years. I want you people to get smart. You know, I want you people to get smart. This is all so Rolex can give discounts. Discounts to customers like you and me. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Even if they're doing that they want to give discounts to people like you and me, la situación está jodida. If those tariffs keep coming in to this country, to the world, a lot of Rolex ADs are gonna close down. In Cisco, San Francisco, you know, America, 2 gone in San Francisco. In the Caribbean, I would say like around 6 of them are gone already. You know, Dominica, San Lucia, Antigua, Barbados. Want me to keep on going? I mean, I'll keep on dropping knowledge on you guys. I'll keep on. La situación está jodida. So, you know, Rolex, like I'm telling you, Rolex, to be honest, wants to take over all these, you know, ADs. You know, they want to be boutiques. They want to be the owners. You know, they want to get all these people out of here. You know, basura, pa' fuera. Get them out, get them out, get them out, get them out. These people are the king of watches. These people are the king of watches, and they can do whatever they want. And they're doing whatever they want. They are giving it specifically to all, you know, Rolex factory is the factory, and Rolex has customers. Rolex has 1,800 AD customers, and they all buy from them. But Rolex for the last 3 years has been giving the logo to all the ADs. With a built out, you must do a built out, you must do this, you must do that. I'm telling you. I'm telling you all this because you might be thinking, but Juan, how do you know this? No, I don't know this. The one that knows all this is no other than Sweet King Kino. Today we're very serious. We want to give you some knowledge. And this is what's going on. They want all these ADs que se vayan para casa el carajo ya. Que se vayan para casa el carajo. You guys don't understand that because you don't know about this. You don't know about this. Thank you very much, Damon, for that super chat. Unbelievable. Damon mandó 10 coco, papá. Increíble. Damon, thank you so much. With all the respect, you know, my manhood is my manhood. And, you know, with all the respect. Lo mandó 10 cocos. Es que ese Damon se la sabe toda. So I want you guys to know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. You guys need to hear the truth. And I'm always going to tell you the truth. This is the way they're going to be able to start, getting all these people out. Let me tell you, man. Rolex is not the king of watches for, for Mickey Mouse. Rolex is the brains. They know what they're doing. Pa' afuera con todo el mundo. Pa' afuera. Pa' afuera. Listen, if a Patek Philippe can sell a sardine can watch for $150,000, $200,000, hey, Rolex is selling watches for $10,000, $15,000, $17,000. Come on, think about it. And if you put them at par next to each other, and you tell me which is stronger, the way they built it, I'm going to tell you all day long, every day, Rolex, a King Kong. Rolex is the king of watches. Rolex is the king. The king. Rolex is the king of watches, ladies and gentlemen. There's nobody bigger than Rolex. But there it is, another 3% increase. 3%. I know what I'm telling you, all right? I'm going to move on to another. And then you have all these, these YouTubers out there talking about the tariff, this tariff, that, what's going on, the 3%. Man, no comas mierda, no comas cativilla, no comas mierda. The king of watches, papi, they know too much. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a special gentleman. Unbelievable, this is, esto está serio. We had a gentleman in the watch industry that sweet Kino named him Prune Face. Prune Face? You guys don't know who Prune Face is? I'm going to come clean today and tell you, all of you, because you all need to know who Prune Face is. Prune Face is a character. Listen and learn. Prune Face is a character in the movie Dick Tracy. Whenever you want to see Prune Face, you put the movie Dick Tracy on and you see him there. But Prune Face was a watch dealer at one moment, and his gang was Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, the Warris Fat Bastard, trucking sweat stained hat with jumbo whiteout ears, small feet, small little hands, 4 feet 8 inches, with skin tight leotard jeans. And you had the other guy with the nippleitis. Nippleitis, I call him Jose Feliciano. He's unbelievable. So he was in that business and he shut down. He shut down for whatever reason. If you want to know what reason that was, you Google it. No, Kino, no te metas en esto. No te metas en esto, Kino. No te metas en esto. No. Yo sé lo que le estoy hablando a ellos. If you want to know why he closed down, you Google it. So they had a little gang. You had Jose Nipolitis Feliciano. You had the Warris Fat Bastard. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You had the trucking sweat stained hat, and they were all together. A little gang, and I'm telling you, they were all together. These people and Deputy Boxing Black Eyes loved that guy, Prune Face, So he had the watch business and he closed it down. Listen and learn. And then, ladies and gentlemen, he did something that is incredible. He opened up another, let me tell you, these people have a mind of the penitentiary. The mind of a penitentiary, ¿Cómo se llama aquí, La penitentiary. La cárcel, compadre, la cárcel. Que ponen a la gente en la cárcel, los trancan en la cárcel. The penitentiary. They have a mind of the penitentiary. And it's incredible. So he closes the watch dealer he had or whatever he was doing. and he opened something else, ladies and gentlemen, that is called Volt watches, where people like you and me will call him up and he will take care of your watch. You will just give him your reference number, the reference number of the watch, the serial number of the watch. Basically, you were giving the watch to Prune Face. Listen and learn, ladies and gentlemen. I talk to you with subliminal messages. You got to put the dots in. Use your brain, Poppy. The head is not only for hair. The head is not only for hair. You understand me? So he gets into the business of that unbelievable, that Volt watches, and people were calling him up to give him the serial number of the watch, the reference number of the watch, everything. And ladies and gentlemen, he closed it down too. But when this situation was happening with trucking, sweat stained hat with jumbo whiteout ears, little hands, little feet, 4 feet 8 inches, leotard jeans, he was running. He was running. That's what Kino tells me. That's what Kino tells me. Allegedly he was running. So the politics came in at the moment. There was elections happening around the country, in the world, and he went into politics. He closed down the Volt watches. He closed down the watch dealership he had, and he went into politics. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. This gentleman was getting super chats, thank you chats. People were giving him, let me tell you, the political business is an unbelievable business, ladies and gentlemen. The people there, the ones that support you, they support you for real. Es un palo redondo, papá, la política. La política es, coño, eso es churra. You know what churra is? Churra. I'm not going to tell you. You Google it. I'm not going to tell you. Exactly. That's when you stop watching it. But that's when he was making big money. Because he was supporting, a party, the party over there and this and that. And ladies and gentlemen, suddenly he said he's not no more involved in politics, and he's closing down the politics because he got too many, ¿cómo se llama eso, Kino? Cuando lo quieren joder, cuando lo quieren matar y eso, too many attempts. I don't know what that was, but something to that, And so he closed it down too. So Prune Face, from watch dealer to Volt watches to political, and now he's gone, because things out there are still shaky, Prune Face, if you're listening to me and you want to join the show, you contact Sweet Kid Kino. We make arrangements so you can, get this clear. So you know what's going on, all right? I'm just telling you what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I have something else that I want to tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen. In my last couple of shows, I've talked to you guys about, the Big Brother, Big Brother, Big Brother's looking at everything, You don't know who Big Brother is? Listen to me. You need to know, listen and learn. You need to know who Big Brother is. He's looking at you. He knows everything you do, Big Brother. Big Brother is the Masons, the Masonics, the Illuminati, the elites of the world. And ladies and gentlemen, you need to know about this stuff because things are happening. I want to ask you a question right now. Today is the year 2025. I want to know. Do you gentlemen know what $1 can buy you today? Do you know? Do you gentlemen know? Listen and learn. Do you gentlemen know what $1 can buy you today? ¿Qué es lo que un peso, qué es lo que un peso te puede comprar hoy? Es lo que estoy diciendo. No comas mierda. Anybody knows what $1 can buy today? Well, let me tell you what $1 can buy you today. $1 can buy you today a nickel. You understand me? One more time, a dollar in the United States of America can buy you a nickel. 5 centavos, 5 chavo, 5 cents. That's what a dollar can buy you today, ladies and gentlemen. A dollar's worth 5 cents. I know it's hard for you guys to understand this, and that's fine. But I'm here dropping knowledge. And when I finish this conversation, you're going to go, ouch, we need to look at this. Let me tell you something. In November 27th, 1976, one of the greatest movies ever was released to the world. And there was a bunch of, dumbskis out there that didn't understand what they were watching. They were skip hopping around through life like rabbits. Understand me? Skip hopping around through life like rabbits. While this movie was released in the year 1976. November 27th, 1976. Because you guys wanted to be, window lickers and lollipop suckers. You didn't understand what you were watching. These new owners of the world, these elites, when they want you to know something, they're telling you in a subliminal message. It's up to you to catch up to it. I was 14 years old when that movie was released. And I saw that movie. And my father showed me every other year about this movie. Anyway, let me get to the movie. The name of the movie is called Network. Network. And this movie was nominated for 10 Academy Awards. 10. Listen and learn. So when you finish this video, you go take a look at it. So you can know what Big Brother is doing. Big Brother, the Illuminati, the Masons, Masonic, the Vatican. It's too much for you guys, Poppy. I'm dropping too much. I gotta go day by day with you guys. Exactly. We're mad as hell, and we ain't gonna take it no more. Tell them, Damon. Tell them. We ain't gonna take it no more. Exactly. There's a gentleman right now. He is an organic watch channel subscriber that he is dropping knowledge. Listen to what he just finished saying. Listen to what he just wrote down. So the movie was nominated for 10 Oscars. 10 Oscars because the elite want the world to know something. This was done in 1976. Today is 2025. 49 years ago, that movie was released. I was a young little buck. And every year my dad would tell me, you see about that movie? You see? How did they release? How did they dare release a movie when they're telling you everything? How? And this movie explains to you the way the world moves. And everything that's happening right now, not in the USA, in the world, but let's say the USA. That's right, Mr. Blair. It's called Network. What's happening in the world, that movie will tell you everything. 49 years ago, they were telling us everything. Like The Simpsons. The Simpsons? Do you know that the longest cartoon series to be ever on TV is called The Simpsons? Who do you think owns that? ¿Qué clase de mashuganas son? Mashuganas. Yala. The Simpsons has been the longest cartoon program ever. I'm dropping too much. Papi, I know I'm dropping too much heavy load. I'm dropping too much. And I told Kino, y te lo digo, Kino, ellos no están preparados para esto. Ellos no están preparados. Ellos no saben lo que tú es. I'm telling Kino that you guys are not prepared. Some of you are not prepared for this. This is too strong. You guys been skip hopping around through life for too long, man. And you know what? And none of your favorite Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market channels are gonna give you this knowledge. They're just gonna give you this, and you're gonna give them your bank account. You're gonna give them your children's tuition money. I don't want your children's tuition money. I want you to learn. I want you to learn. When I'm gone, I want you guys, my name to still be out there. Man, Sweet Kid Kino, man, he would just drop it on anybody, you know? I'm telling you, this is, you might laugh, and I want you to laugh. I make it easy for you guys. So you need to watch this movie called Network. And there were 10 nominations, and another 10, they won 4. They won Best Actor, Best Actress. You want to know who the actress is? Faye Dunaway. Finch. Finch, I forgot his name, man. Best Supporting Actress, too, and Screenplay. They won 4. But the crazy thing about this movie is that it's being preserved. Preserved. The movie is being preserved as like an like blueprints, you know, like blueprints. Blueprints, you know, like when you built a house or skyscraper, blueprints. So you can learn everything. And the reason I'm telling you all this because I have a gentleman that was, hey, listen, I want to know more about this Illuminati stuff, the Big Brother, Peter, exactly, Peter Finch. Thank you so much, Damon. I'm telling you, this gentleman here, Damon, knows, Damon, you know what I'm trying to say. Please help me out. I need you to join the show because Damon knows what I'm talking about. Mr. Ed Blair knows what I'm talking about, and so on and so on and so on. This is deep stuff, papi. This is deep stuff. This is too much for la chola. This is too much for your head. And you need to watch this movie because it would explain to you everything that's happening in America or around the world. Or around the world. Papi, we're upside down. You know? We're upside down. If people still, they still want to make you believe that things are great. Papi, things ain't great, man. When you see the movie tonight, Network, you're going to go, oh shit. Oh shit, this is what's happening. Now, my question was, I would tell my dad when my dad was still alive in the year, because in the year 2000, the movie critics, whatever you call that, they preserved this movie as one of the greatest. And if you don't believe me, you know, Google it. One of the greatest movies ever made. That's big time, Papi. I mean, you got movies out there like, you know, I don't know, Godfather, and you know, this is a movie that's just sitting there because we have too many dumpskis in the United States of America that don't want to learn, and they have the blueprints right there to watch it. Take the blueprints, put it on, get some popcorn, get some chewy, and you watch that, and you learn who are all these secret societies. Maybe they'll shut me down because Papi, what I'm telling you is something powerful. Your brain cells might explode. You understand me? I mean, I'm telling you something that you guys should know about. I mean, you're talking about a movie that's telling you everything that's happening. We still don't know how the owners of the world, how Hollywood, how the elites, you know, the Rothschilds, you know, que son mucho, los Morgans, the owners of the world, papi. The owners, the one that writes the check for you, for me and you know, they write the checks. J.P. Morgan, you know, you understand me? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. ¿Tú entiendes? This is too much for you. You know, this is, if you wanted to know, that subscriber wanted to know, I'm telling you. You know, you go out there, you read the Corona. You know, read Corona 1984. Does anybody know what Corona 1984 is? You know? Corona 1984. It's unbelievable. George, what's his name? Ed and Damon, George something. He wrote that book. It's unbelievable. You need to read that book. Thank you. Thank you. Oh well. You see that? I told my people, they know what I'm talking about. You need to know what the Corona 1984 is all about. Papi, you cannot continue skip hopping around through life like rabbits. And me and Sweet Kino we get the short end of the stick. Because we drop knowledge, papá. La situación está jodida, muchacho. You know, you need to see things. You need to read the book. Hey guys, write down the name for real. I don't want to say the name. Corona 1984, you need to read that book. And then you need to see Network. And when you watch that, Papa, you're a genius. You're a genius. My dad will give me classes every year about that movie. Look, son, look what happened. Exactly what's happening now. Look what's happening now. I've been telling, I have a 37-year-old son. Me, I have a 37-year-old son. And I've been telling my son since he's a young little boy, man, these Simpsons just keep on every year. Who owns the Simpson? My son, when I started telling him that, he must have been, you know, he must have been, I don't know, when I was telling him probably 5-6 years old. Today, he's 37, and the Simpsons is still on. And everything, if you look closely to the Simpsons, they're giving you the message. You just got to put the dot, pop, right there. So to you gentlemen, you know, they send me that message. I want to know about this. I want to know about that. Big brother. Big brother's watching everything we're doing. Big brother's watching you. And I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to say this in a positive way. You know, I spoke to you about that boxer, and I'm not talking about Deputy Boxing Black Eyes. I'm talking about the real boxer. You know, the boxer, the one that claims he's worth $1.6 billion, $1 billion, you know? He doesn't know nothing. That's all lent to them. All lent. You know, I'm going to lend you this so you can go out there and say you have so much money. But when the real owners say, hey, give me my money back, it's over. With a press of a button, they take your money back and you're done. The same thing with all these entertainers. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. I'm just dropping something you've never heard in your life. I think I'm going to have to go back right now to the watch market update because you guys are going to go, what is this man talking about? Oh, papi, I'm dropping knowledge. Something that you need to mix it up with your watches so you understand what's happening. It's all rigged, man. It's all rigged. So you already know what to do. You need to read the book Corona 1984 by George Orwell, you know, and you need to see the movie Network. I'm telling you, you're gonna appreciate me what I'm saying. I was schooled by that movie, and when I want to go back and find out things, listen to words, how they use them, you know, I go back. Like Mr. Damon said, we ain't going to take it anymore. How did he say, Damon? How was it that he said in the movie, Ed, how did he say in the movie, we ain't going to take this no more? And this is what I'm telling you guys. You're not supposed to be taking this no more from these flim flammers. We're mad as hell. That's right. And you're mad as hell. We're not going to take this any longer, and you're mad as hell. This is what you got to tell all the watch. Forget about the great watch market dealers. They're a bunch of cucarachas. Some cucarachas. You got to tell the watch industry, we're mad as hell, and we ain't going to take this no more. You understand me? That's how it is. There it is. Mr. Donald just put it up there for you. Today, I gave you the blueprints that I use. The sweet Kino uses. Kino, so hey, the brains, bro. He's incredible, you know. But you know, I was lucky enough to have my father through those years, and he explained to me a lot of things. And when they want something, they want something. They don't care. They don't, papi. They don't care. They don't care. These people, what they care about is el sistema, you know, the oath. You know what an oath is? The oath. That's it. You know? The oath. That's it. Skull and bones. Does anybody know what skull and bones is? Eso se lo digo otro día aquí, no, not today. Skull, we'll talk about skull and bones another day. You know? You know? I mean, it's the Bohemian Grove. You ever heard about the Bohemian Grove? Papi, I'm dropping too much knowledge on you guys. This is why I can see everything that these flim flammers are doing to you out there. I can see everything they're doing to you out there. You know, Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove. You know who the Bohemian Grove is, papi? ¿Ah? You know who the Bohemian Grove is? Esta gente no saben esto, Kino, no comas mierda, Kino, no me digas eso. No me digas eso. Que yo, ¿por qué voy a parar? Kino once says to me to stop, stop telling you all these things. Should I stop? Oh, tienen que saberlo, Kino. It's too much. The Bohemian Grove is where the biggest names of politics get together and they choose who's going to be your next, you know. I love this. There you go. Look at this. We have a gentleman, Area 51. There you go. But the Bohemian Grove is where they go and they choose who's going to be your next ruler of the United States of America. You understand that? Of the United States of America. They rule. Let me tell you something, guys, before I go into the watch market update. I want you to know that we have two parties here, the blue and the red. I don't give a shit about none of those colors. Neither the blue or the red or the red or the blue. I don't give a shit. Both of them are the same. Both of them are the same. And they don't want nobody else to join the blue and the red color. They don't want nobody else. No, you cannot bring a yellow color or a purple color or the black color. It's just two colors, red and blue. And me and you fight, and we fight, and we fight, and then later on we're gonna have dinner, and later on we're gonna dance and all that stuff. But you know, it's the blue and red color. The only thing I can tell you is when a blue color is doing something good that's favorable for us, you know, for the people in the world, man, I like the blue color. When the red color is doing something that I like, I'm gonna like the red color. So what I'm trying to tell you is whoever's doing something right for the world is who I'm gonna like. But forget about those two colors. They're the same people. They are the same people. And they pass the potato back and forth to each other. You understand me? Esto está fuerte, Mayo. You know, I need like 3 hours for this. So I don't want you guys thinking, so who does you like? Listen, I don't give a... Exactly. That's it. It's a party, man. They dance together. They drink champagne. They get high. They're corrupted. They're dirty. They're real dirty, you know. But you know, they eat hot dogs and pizza, you know. Gentlemen, I'm gonna go into the watch market update because this is too much for you guys. Anyway, guys, you ready for the watch market update? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Te tiene duro, papi. No lo susto, ¿verdad? Kino says, don't scare them. Don't scare them. Frog the watch market. See that? They gustan. They like this. I can talk to you about this all day. And you guys can talk to me. You guys can teach me. You know, you guys will teach me what the Bohemian Grove is. You know, Area 51. You know, you understand me? But anyway, let's go into the watch market update. Our first watch, ladies and gentlemen, it's an AP Royal Oak stainless steel chrono with a green dial. This is a 50th anniversary. It has 50th anniversary on the rotor of the watch. And when this watch was released, that 50th anniversary, people went bananas. This one has a green dial. And this watch went all the way up, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I'm telling you, you need to, what I told you, network. Go watch network so you can see what a dollar can buy you today. A dollar can buy you 5 cents. Papi, a dollar is worth today 5 cents. Estamos jodidos, papi. Estamos jodidos, and you guys are skip hopping around through life like rabbits. Skip hopping around through life like rabbits. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch reached this chrono, AP Royal Oak. You know, this watch reached a price of $175,000 because of the green dial and the rotor that said 50th anniversary. 41 millimeter. Reference number 26240. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch, and you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $49,000. And okay, you got it. You got it. You know what it is. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak stainless steel 15510 green dial. Another monster, another monster of a watch. 41 millimeter, unbelievable watch. Unbelievable. Don't pay for that beautiful green one. It's another one, anniversary. All this anniversary stuff that you guys like. Don't pay for that watch, and you do whatever you want. It's your money. And we're talking about used slider condition material watches in this channel. Use. You do whatever you want. Kino, some people are telling me no more watch market up there. They want to hear about Shakespeare and Masonic and all that stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. This is deep. I can talk about this for real and drop knowledge. Don't pay for that Royal 15510 41 millimeter. Don't pay more than $41,500. And you do whatever you want. The watch market está jodido, papi. The watch market está jodido. If you keep on buying watches, you're going to keep on getting skid marks on your hands, Fruit of Loom underwears. I know what I'm telling you. I know what I'm telling you. I will, Alex, I will. Our next watch is a Rolex Titanium Yachtmaster 42 millimeter. Reference number 126618LB. Unbelievable time machine, ceramic bezel, black dial. And this watch at one moment was up there in 40, 45, 50, 49. It went down 30, bam, 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 bouncing all over the place, going down, going down. And they had it out there for 27, 26, these flim flammers. But don't be obedient and listen to them. You tell them in their face that when Felipe Nieves and Sweet Kid Kino told you not to pay more than $22,500 and you do whatever you want. It's your money. It's your money. If you want to continue being possum kickers, crumb bums, window lickers, lollipop suckers, palm olive dish lickers, that's up to you. That's up to you. If you want to maintain their red gold fast car, with their Louis Vuitton Nike sneakers, their ripped jeans, Montclair sweaters, Supreme hoodies, sushi dinners, $17,000 steak dinner with a guy with a t-shirt and sunglasses and a 5980 Patek, puts a hard bone in your mouth and he peels it back out and he chop, 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 chop. You want to keep on doing that? That's up to you. That's up to you. I don't care. You already know what a dollar can buy you today. I told you, 5 cents. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Yellow Gold Submariner. blue dial, ceramic, 41 millimeter. Unbelievable looking time machine. Reference number 126618LB. You know what? I was confused with the titanium. The titanium is 226627, and the Submariner is the 126618LB. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that beautiful yellow gold with a blue ceramic bezel, blue dial. You do yourself a favor. You want a full set. Full set. If it ain't full set, you don't want it. But don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch more than $32,000. And you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel Air King black dial, 40 millimeter. This is the previous reference number. The old, not the one with the crown guards. This is flat, no guards or nothing. But I am going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. Listen and learn so you don't get burned. Yeah, it came out good. Listen and learn so you won't get burned. All right? Listen and learn so you won't get burned. Mr. Donut says $6,500, and I'm going to have to be honest with you guys. Don't pay for that Air King, you know, the one without the crown guards. Don't pay more. And I mean, don't pay more than $5,600. And dropping! Una más? Dropping again. That's what Sweet Kid Kino told me to do. And I do as he says because he is my manager. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel yellow gold Submariner. You know, oyster bracelet. The Rolex Submariner, a dog with fleas. Dog with fleas. Stainless steel bracelet with gold. Oyster. Unbelievable watch. Unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to be honest. This is a 40 millimeter. You know, this is not a 41, a 40. So you're looking at a Rolex Submariner, stainless steel with yellow gold, black dial, black ceramic, right? Two-tone. Don't pay for that watch and you do whatever you want. It's your money. It's your money. But don't pay for that watch more than $11,900. And dumping! Dumping again. It's dumping again. The watch is dead. The watch is dead. Smelly. Smelly, smelly, smelly. Our watch is dead in a backyard septic tank and smelly. I'm telling you, you do whatever you want with your money. You do whatever you want. You already know what $1 can buy you today. 5 cents. Put it to practice. Put it to practice. Tell your uncle, tell your son, tell your grandfather, hey, grandfather, you know what $1 can buy you today? And your grandfather said, no, I don't know, grandson. What can it buy me? It can buy you 5 cents. That's all. That's how bad the dollar is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is too powerful for you guys. Our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel Explorer, 40 millimeter. 40 millimeter. Black dial. Reference number 224270. This is a new watch. You know, this watch is like around $8,500. Brand new. The new model that just came out. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to tell you, that's pretty close, don't it? And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't you dare pay for this brand new Rolex Explorer, 40 millimeter, you know, black dial, fully stainless steel, you know? Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $6,500 and dead. Do whatever you want. That watch is dropping. That watch is dropping. If they call you for that watch, you run to the hills. If they call you for that watch, you will listen to them. He's dead. Listen to me, don't get me wrong. If you like the watch and you want the watch and you're not thinking about if it drops, if it loses money, it depreciates, Papa, you buy whatever you want. But if you're buying it because I bought it for $8,000 and it's already worth $10,000, There'll be a cold day in hell before that watch hits $10,000. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel Yacht Master black dial. You know, Rolex Yacht Master black dial. Unbelievable. 42 millimeter. 42 millimeter. Ladies and gentlemen, reference number of this watch is the 326934. Unbelievable looking time machine. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that 326934. Don't pay, and I mean, no, we already passed that one. We're already past that one. To be honest, I'm repeating the same one. I'm sorry. I'm repeating the same one. I'm very, very sorry. I take it back. I'm repeating the same one. I'm getting mixed up reading your messages and I'm getting all tangled up. So excuse me on that one. We're talking about the Rolex White Gold Daytona Ghost 40 millimeter Oyster Flex 116519 LN. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch at one moment was over $47,000. $47,000. The watch has a retail price of $31,500. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and don't pay for that ghost. Don't pay for that ghost more than $33,000. And it's dropping, ladies and gentlemen. White gold, the ghost, Oyster Flex. Unbelievable looking time machine. Be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Our next watch is a Rolex Rose Gold Sky Dweller Blue Dial with a Jubilee bracelet. Unbelievable. You know, Rolex Rose Gold Sky Dweller Jubilee bracelet. You know, blue dial. This is an unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch, I'm gonna tell you, when it first came out, it was $80,000. You know, 75, 69, 66. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do yourself a favor and don't give away your children's tuition money away. But don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch more. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $61,000. And that watch is dropping. That watch is dropping big time, ladies and gentlemen. If you are here tomorrow and you're going to go to the Miami Watch Show, you tell them, if you're there, if you're here, you tell them in the front desk, the sweet Kate Kino send you to the show. You know, you tell them the Opus in Time Watches send you to the show. If you want to get into that show, you just use our name and they'll let you in. I'm just letting you know if you want to go to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a watch that I want to talk to you a little bit about, because this watch, I remember when the Bitcoin hit, man, people went nuts with this watch. And you're talking about heavy hitters. People were driving just Ferraris and Lambos and Porsches and all that, you know, all those exotic cars, you know, because they were Bitcoin millionaires. And people were buying this watch for $750,000. Did you hear that? $750,000. This is a Richard Mille RM6501 Rose Gold. You want to see how dead Richard Mille watches is? And ladies and gentlemen, I have a video that I did on that particular watch model from Richard Mille, the RM6501 Rose Gold. People pay $750,000 for this watch. This is a monster watch. The retail price of this watch is $365,000. Did you hear that? You had to be colossal. You had to be a mammoth. You have to be dangerously, you know, deep pocket, you know? Man, you had to be big to get this watch. It was like, my God, you know? Unbelievable. $750,000 watch. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this. If you are a Richard Mille watch owner, or if you're a Richard Mille 6501 owner, rose gold, oof, it doesn't matter to them because these people, they throw that money away. To them it's nothing when you have so many millions, you know? You know, easy come, easy go. And I know a lot of people want to hear too much money. I know people want to hear, that's right, too much money is right. You want to hear about the price today on this watch. This is going to knock your socks off and blow your hair back. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. I mean, no matter what these flim-flammers keep on giving you, these subliminal messages and all these high prices, watch is dead. Richard Mille watches are dead in water. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that RM6501 rose gold. Don't pay more than $243,000 in dropping. See, man, dropping again, dropping again, dropping again, dropping again. Ma, ¿verdad? Dropping again, dropping again. Dead. 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 I'm telling you, I know too much. Dead. Dead. Kiro, se lo estoy diciendo para que sepan. I know right now in these 29 organic subscribers, I can tell you at least 2 are Richard Mille fanatics y se están sacando los mocos. Kino, se están sacando los mocos, se lo están comiendo. Mira. Haciendo eso. He did. But ladies and gentlemen, I have another watch. I have another watch for you guys that is unbelievable. We're going to be talking about the Patek Philippe. You know, Patek Philippe. And 4 months ago, Patek Philippe took out the line, the Cubitus, you know, and platinum, rose gold, and stainless steel, and fully stainless steel with a green dial, blue dial with the two-tone, and blue dial with the platinum. And they were talking about silly, silly numbers, you know, 350,000 for the platinum, 260 for the stainless steel, and I don't know, it was just silly, crazy, right? Crazy stuff. But this is the 45 millimeter casing, you know, 45. It has a 45 millimeter casing to watch. So Patek Philippe, like they did with Patek, you know, with the Pateks, the Nautilus, now they achicano, they made this Cubitus smaller, and they made a Cubitus. Listen and learn. Listen and learn, Poppy. Don't forget what $1 can buy you today. 5 cents. So they made a Cubitus. Maybe you guys know this already and I'm wasting my time, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So they made a white gold Cubitus. You know, white gold Cubitus, 40 millimeter, 40, 40 mm with a blue dial. You understand? Blue dial, like the Nautilus, you know, stainless steel, white gold, right? With a blue dial. So they made the Cubitus. Unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this Cuba test is unbelievable. You know, 40 millimeter, Alex. Listen and learn. That's right, Grasshopper. Listen and learn. Not a 45, a 40. A 40. The watch has a retail price of $76,590. White gold. And as soon as the watch came out, they started talking crazy numbers. And you might say, well, how crazy? Crazy. You know, 400,000, 375, 425. I got it first. I want this for that watch. I want that for that watch. And it went, you know, from all those silly prices, it started dropping, you know, to $190,000. $190,000. No hay dinero en la calle, papi. There's no money in the street. There's no money, papi. Listen and learn and watch the movie Tonight Network. You know, you listen and learn. And it went down, and they kept on going down. You know, all these flim-flammers, you know, the deputy boxing black eyes, the walrus fat bastard, the hungry hippo Mr. Magoo, you know, Big Pun Heavy D, the two Jehovah Witness, the two toddler body brothers, you know, the people that you admire, the people that you are obedient to, you know, the people that you love, you know, they were saying all those prices, but they come here to see me. They come here to see me. That's right, because I say the prices for you. I'm the one that puts, I said it wrong. Sweet Kid Kino is the one that puts the prices on the gray watch market. He is the one. Sweet Kid Kino. And ladies and gentlemen, that beautiful Cubitus 40 millimeter white gold blue dial. Unbelievable time machine. Unbelievable. I mean, this watch, like I said, it has a retail price of $76,590. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, this is my last watch of the day, so I don't take no more time of your day. I'm going to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. And this watch is dropping. I'm being kind to this people. I'm being very, very kind. But remember, when these watches come out of the gate, these watches have a retail price of $76,590 plus your taxes. Let's round it up to 80 something thousand, the watch, right? And the way they hype up that watch is, remember, they sell it to dealer A to dealer B to dealer C, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And this is how the watch gets that number, okay? They hype up the prices among themselves. There's no system out there. There's nothing out there. I got the watch. Sweet Kid Kino got the watch. Sweet Kid Kino sells it to me. I sell it now to another one. I make 5,000. You know, one that makes 10,000. And before you know it, the watch is all the way up. All the way up. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that Patek Cubitus white gold blue dial. Don't pay. I mean, you do whatever you want. You do whatever. If you need the reference number, I'm even gonna give it to you because I'm stupid just like that. It is the 7128G, right? And I'm gonna tell you, don't pay, and I mean don't pay more than $152,000. And ¡dam! Aguántame, Kino. Aguántame. ¡Dam! 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 I know what I'm telling you. I know what I'm telling you. You do whatever you want with your money. It's your money, and you do whatever you want. It's my little thing here. Protects me. You know, my angels, they protect me. You do whatever you want. The watch market is dead. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this watch market update and you learned something. Put everything that you learned today, put it in your drawer, you know, you're going to become one of the, the sharpest knives in your drawer. I'm telling you, you're going to become. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our video, don't forget that, we try to bring you knowledge and truth to this channel, Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like it and and let people know what's going on. Let your friends know, man, that a dollar can buy you 5 cents. Anyway, guys, like me and Sweet Kid Kino say every week, before I let you guys go, thank you so much for your support. It really means a whole lot to us, for real. I really, from the bottom of my heart, all of you being here, all of you of 28, they're here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It just makes us, keep on going. I hope I didn't scare you guys with, Big Brother and, and the Masonics and, the owners of the world, skulls and bones, all that good stuff. Hope that didn't scare you, right? I won't do it no more. Anyway, guys, take care and brush your hair.